I'm Abbie, and I help career-driven and introverted professionals, and I teach them how to speak more confidently in meetings and presentations and just in everyday life. I have been a teacher turned coach for the last 5 years, and yeah, that's me. So I had been running my business for nearly or just over 5 years at that point, and I was using a an online platform to attract students, and that really quietened down for me. Probably a year before that I came on board. Um, I started Instagram in that August 2024 to try and get more students organically, and so set up that. And I just felt frustrated at my lack of progress. I felt I was slowly um, not losing students. They were kind of reaching the end of their process with me, and then I wasn't able to fill the gaps from that they left. And I would get a very small trickle of students, but nowhere near the amount I really wanted. And I was posting on Instagram um a lot when I first started, but it was mostly educational content. And then when it came to actually selling what I did, it was just like a quiet whisper. I didn't really promote myself as much as I could on there. Um, in the back end of last year, I fostered a child, so my focus on my business completely disappeared, and I was just kind of up, trying to keep up my then current clients. And then I had a week off in the October and decided, yeah, this is the time I need to focus more on my business.
When you say your clients dropped off from the platform, do you have any idea why that happened?
It was more maybe some kids might have had too much homework from school, so they couldn't continue, or my more adult students, felt confident. They felt like they could go far. We'd kind of solved the issues that they had, and it just got quiet on the platform. There was more teachers, more, the market was more saturated.
Gotcha. Okay. So like the the students who came from the platform were aging out, moving on, they'd met their goals, and the traffic from the platform wasn't replacing them anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
And
it.
there wasn't much that you could do about that.
Not really. No, no. It was just a case of like, cross your fingers and hope for the best, which just wasn't working anymore. When I started on the platform, it was the start of the pandemic. So everybody was off work, everybody was looking for teachers. And for 3 years, that kind of sustained my job. I got to a point where I wanted to increase my prices as well. And because there are so many teachers, I was possibly seen as going too high, because there was so much competition on the platform as well.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So we talked for months before you pulled the trigger and ended up working with me. So I have to ask, like, what were your hesitations about joining the program? And why did you decide ultimately to go for it?
I think there was a couple of reasons. The first thing was the investment. I just felt like I didn't have the investment at that time to do it. I probably did, if I'm honest, but I was just really scared of putting that in and um making that jump. I still felt like I wanted to, I'm very much like I'll try it my own way, Um, excuse me. And yeah, it just felt too scary. I think it really did. And like I say, that week that I had in October, um, it almost felt like that sort of fear had just kind of died down a little bit. But I do remember sending over the payment and being like, oh my God, what have I just done? But then getting in the first call and thinking, no, this is amazing. This is where I'm meant to be right now.
Yeah, that fear is a tough one.
Mhm.
Okay, so once you were in the program, what did we change in your business to get you to where you are now?
Oh, yeah, loads of things so far. So the first thing was my Instagram page. So just how I present on Instagram, the my bio, um, my ad, the messaging around my ad, how I approach people on Instagram, my strategy when it comes to direct messaging. I had zero strategy when it came to that, and now I feel like I can do it without thinking too much and without overthinking too much, which is a big thing, a big thing for me. Um, what to say in a call as well, that first call when you meet somebody. Um, it's a work in progress, but it's great because I'm sort of seeing those changes as I go. Um, and yeah, I suppose just generally my attitude towards my business. I feel like I'm just, it's somehow just completely changed how I feel about what I offer and my confidence in what I offer as well. I'm not apologizing anymore for what I do and the. That I give.
So good. Is there anything like in particular that you attribute that to? Like, why? How did that shift happen?
I think it's just a mix of everything and seeing other teachers push to where I want to and be at a similar point to where I was, and then I mean, I think about some of the teachers, and if I joined a year ago, where I would be today. It's sort of you're almost like kicking yourself that you weren't brave enough a year ago to do it. But I feel like it's just, yeah, everything, a mixture of everything has just helped me sort of feel just much more confident in my own skin and ability.
Such a good win. Like I don't even want to talk numbers anymore because like that's the biggest win.
Yeah, definitely. Nowadays, absolutely. Yeah.
But let's talk numbers anyway. So in the 8 weeks that we've been working together so far, you're not done the program yet, but how much have you spent on ads so far?
So I've spent oh, I can't remember how much it was.
I've got it totaled on your data sheet here. I believe from the numbers that you've put in, it's 151 pounds, 52 hints,
Hence,
hints,
yeah.
not cents. Okay. So that's about 4 pounds per day. That's your daily budget that you're
Yeah,
running.
it is. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah. Mhm.
cool. So having spent that 151 pounds, what is your total cash collected so far?
So total cash collected is £1,240.
Okay. And we did do a little bit of math, and figured out that that is an 8.2 ROAS, which stands for return on ad spend for anybody who's totally brand new to this. So that means for every dollar, for every pound that you spent, you have collected 8.20 in return.
It just, I think when you think about that in 8 weeks, and then you think about the potential, over time, and when I feel like I've nailed everything, that isn't quite right at the moment, but I'm sort of tweaking, um, it feels really exciting to think about that.
Yeah. So even though it is a work in progress and you are still tweaking and testing and playing with your system, we are still seeing better than an 8-to-1 return on the money you are spending on ads, investing in marketing in your
Mm.
business.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Exciting. Yeah, I like to
Mm.
compare it to like any other investment. Like
Mhm.
if you were to go buy some stocks,
Yeah.
you maybe make like an 8 to 10% return in a year.
Mhm.
And yeah, we did like 800% in 8 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
There's no better return on the planet
Mhm.
than understanding how to market and sell yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And you're learning techniques that you can just take forward and use forever. This doesn't have to just be kind of for the few months, you can just take it on and run with it.
Exactly. Okay. So anything else that you want to share in terms of tangible results?
I've just hit 1,000 followers today, which when I started, I was like, oh, I'll meet like, I'll have like 2,000 followers by the end of the year in like 4 months. And it doesn't work like that anymore. If I'd started in the pandemic, absolutely, I'm sure I would have been, there. But um, that feels good, to have more interactions and see that people are watching stories and you can see people watching and then commenting on stories and sort of seeing the people being warmed up to you as well, which feels good.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun than yelling into the void.
Absolutely, yeah. But also as well, I've had three sales calls booked without even doing anything on Instagram. Obviously, I think they must have come through the ad, but they've booked immediately, which again would have never happened before. That's a total change to not have even spoken to anybody, but seen them in my emails that they're coming through.
Yeah, good systems are so exciting.
Mhm.
When somebody actually moves through your system, it's
Yeah.
such a big milestone. Okay, so if somebody was considering joining the program today, tomorrow, what would you tell them?
Don't be like me. Don't wait a year and a half of like conversation on Instagram and getting little freebies and things like that because yes, they're great, but it just doesn't push you forward. And yes, it's an investment, but I also think it really helps you like, right, this is it now. You know, I've got to do it. I've got to make a go of everything. And it really pushes you to just push yourself out of your comfort zone. So yeah, that's all I can say. Just do it. Don't be like me. Just do it. I got there eventually.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. You're here now. Awesome. Thanks, Abbie.
No problem.